Hey folks, it's Coach Max here. Just wanted to let you know that this episode was recorded about 2 weeks ago at this point. The March Madness episode we posted last week was actually much newer than this one, so there's going to be a few things that are outdated about this one. But I'm going to leave it basically unedited, that way y'all can get a huge peek behind the curtain. And maybe it'll encourage you to never listen again. Who knows? Enjoy the show. Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Cam and Max in the Morning. He's Cam.
And he's Max.
And I want you all to know that we are a podcast that actually tries.
This what a peek behind the curtain there.
That's actually up to debate. But you know what, Cameron? We're going to start today with a brand new segment. You don't know what... Cameron doesn't know what's coming. Are you ready for this?
I have no idea.
All right. We're going to make a segment where you have to name every book of the Bible, but in Hebrew. Ready? Go.
Bereshit. The Midbar.
All right, that'll do it for
two.
This new segment. That was the best I could do with Off the Dome. But
I thought you actually had something. I was like, oh, this is kind of exciting.
We do actually have a brand new segment later in the show. But for now, we're going to start with one that we brought in last week called Odds and Ends. This is the part of the show where we put something. I wasn't going to let you say it, but I think that's what it needs to be. This is a part of the show every week where we have something that just doesn't fit into any of the segments we have. So we talk about it right here. Cam, I'm going to let you lead off because I have no clue what your segment is here. I really don't.
Okay, so SNL has been critiqued for years. There's a good Drew Gooden video about this where he watches an episode of every SNL season, and his takeaway is that most of it's terrible. We just remember the highlights.
You like 80s music, but you like you don't like 80s music. You like the music that survived the 80s.
Yeah. So, talking SNL, it is, with all that said, I think it's in a pretty bad spot. And the only thing is I watch for like Weekend Update with Jost and Michael Che. And then
Right. I'm familiar with that.
And then, so Colin, though, he's been a writer, but he's been getting out from behind the Weekend Update desk. And he's in the skit rotation now as Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. And, oh my goodness,
okay.
Those skits are so funny. Basically now it's become to where like I see him and I'm like, wait, what does Pete Hegseth look like? Like, what does he talk like? And then I watch like a Pete Hegseth one and I'm like, shouldn't he be like more like Colin Jost? It's become that good.
That's really good. Are you familiar with any of the George Bush skits that was Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
I am a big fan of those. I think, who was it? Amy Poehler as Hillary. Is that who she was?
I just think of like recently like Maya Rudolph as Kamala Harris.
Anytime I see Kamala, I do think I'm like, why that's not Maya. What am
She doesn't sound like that.
Like when the art overtakes the I don't know. But
Art
when
imitates
art becomes
life.
Reality.
And art becomes
There you go.
life.
Exactly. There you go. Big thing with SNL is a lot of the old sketches, like, they're cut down into, like, greatest hits.
Yeah.
And they're really not good outside of those.
There's
probably ebbs and flows through the history, but...
Yeah. What's your favorite SNL skit?
Oh, okay. That's a really good question. It's not my favorite per se. I'm a big fan of More Cowbell, another Will Ferrell, actually. But that's just a classic. Lunch Ladyland with Adam Sandler and Chris Farley. Anything. Yeah. So back when Netflix was a DVD service, we got the Adam Sandler's Greatest Hits, and that one was phenomenal. And it was really because it was Adam Sandler and Chris Farley in just about every single bit, you know?
Yeah.
Lunch Ladyland is a classic. I love that one.
I would say a shout out, like an honorable mention. An honorable mention for us is the What's Up With That game show where Jason Sudeikis does that dance.
Yeah.
Like his little. For hindsight, is that Jason Sudeikis? Am I thinking of the right person? It sounded so
Bill
right
Hader?
in my head. Huh?
I think you mean Bill Hader.
No, not Bill Hader. Definitely not Bill Hader. Hold
Okay.
on. What's up with that? Is it Adam or Andy Samberg? It's Andy Samberg, maybe. What's up with that, Jason? It is Jason Sudeikis. I take it all back. Aside from that one, though, a classic is it's got 2 entries. It's the Hot Tub Lovers with Will Ferrell. Have you seen that one?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I have, actually.
That's a classic. Like, it's so awkward. His voice is really funny. Will Ferrell is just the staple of SNL.
Just to throw in another Will Ferrell, the Celebrity Jeopardy with him as Alex Trebek, like those are just so good. Have you watched Black Jeopardy?
Yes, yeah.
Those are so good. The Tom Hanks one. I worked with a guy at Toys R Us that was that character, like that Tom Hanks played. Like, I think his name was Jeff. I'm not sure, but it was amazing. It was so good. Cameron, do you know anything about these full cast audio versions of Harry Potter that are on Audible right now?
So I've heard of them. I've not yet listened to any of them.
So they are, I think, phenomenal. It is, for those of you that aren't aware, on Audible back in October, I think, they released Sorcerer's Stone in America, Philosopher's Stone everywhere else. Side note, I read something the other day about, like, why haven't they just retconned it to only be Philosopher's Stone? Because we're past the point, like, it's going to sell. But I think maybe we just have enough of an attachment to Sorcerer's. I always say Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah, that's what I say.
I'm not like a purist that's like, oh, it's Philosopher.
No, I did have 2 bedroom posters, though, growing up. One of them said Sorcerers, one of them said Philosophers.
That's really cool. So Katie has been to Europe. I'm pretty sure your sister went with Katie when they went in college.
I don't think she went. But
okay. I thought she did, but she might not have. No, that's fine. And I know Katie has a book of Philosopher. But these are editions of the audiobook on Spotify. But instead of just Jim Dale reading the whole thing, which his versions are amazing, you have a narrator, and every character is voiced by a unique person. And they are so, so good. Now, there's a few voices that I don't really care for. Okay?
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate. And the consensus seems to be pretty clear across the board. Snape's voice is just not very good. And that's really sad. It's really sad to have him not be as good as he could be because, I mean, Snape, spoiler alert, Snape is very important to the story. Side note, when's the last time that you actually read the books versus the movies?
I read the books probably a couple years ago at this point.
Okay.
Are 7 or 8 years.
Are they okay? So that's relatively fresh. Like, that's fresh enough for you to remember. Whoa, these are so different than the movies, right?
Yeah. 6 especially.
And it's not. Oh, I mean, 6 for sure. 4 a good bit. I love the movies, so let me just say that. I don't have time to listen to 24 hours of Order of the Phoenix, even though I love it. Sometimes I'm like, I need to just get the book. But there's so many characters that are left out of it. Are you familiar with Ludo Bagman in Goblet of Fire?
Yeah, I like Ludo, yeah.
His voice is unreal. The guy that is his voice actor, it's so good. I can't think of his name, but Hugh Laurie, famous for Gregory House, is Dumbledore.
Yeah, who's Matthew McFadden in this? I'm seeing him in a video.
Oh, give me a second. I might not have.
That might be he's. I could see him being Ludo.
Okay, I got to make sure I talk. Oh, he plays Voldemort, actually.
Matthew McFadden?
Yeah, I really like his voice.
Wow.
I don't care for Rita Skeeter's voice, and what's the character in Order of the Phoenix just came out literally this past week as we're recording this. No. Oh, James McAvoy is Mad Eye Moody, and that's a great casting.
I like him.
He doesn't sound at all like he does in X-Men. Well, I mean, yeah, he's no Mr. Tumnus there either, but his Charles Xavier is not anything like his Mad Eye Moody, but he's so good. The Professor Umbridge, or Dolores Umbridge, the worse than Voldemort character.
Yeah, I can't stand her.
Her voice, she's voiced by Keira Knightley. And I
have a really hard
I have a hard time hating her because, Keira Knightley, great, but her voice just doesn't fit.
Is she old enough to play Umbridge?
She's old now.
She's probably in her 40s now, but
let me look. I just Googled Dolores Umbridge. Let me try that again. Keira Knightley is 40. There you go.
Oh, 40 on the dot.
So peek behind the curtain. I have to make sure that when I type, I'm not talking something important at that time, because then all you're going to hear is the typing.
Yeah, I've worried about that.
I'm a big fan of these cast recordings.
I need to listen. I do need to listen.
They're very good. I'll probably cut this out, but I can lend you my Amazon login because Audible is expensive.
It is. I've had it off and on. Yeah.
If it was I'm just staying subscribed to Audible for the credits to get the 2 more books, and then I'm dropping the subscription.
Yeah.
Because now I own them technically. Of course, you don't own digital media, but this isn't even making the show. Cameron, we are a variety show. We talk about a lot of different things. We talk about music. We talk about sports. But let's get something straight. We are not a sports show.
No, we're not. That's all I got. You want me to go?
You got it. Go for it.
All right. So you may have remembered from our last episode, Jason Tatum making his return imminently. That happened. He's been really good. And it's sad. I have a little strike through here on our notes because I had Celtics 1 seed watch, and then they lost 2 games. I was like, they're not going to get the 1 seed in the East. But they're still playing well, and I'm like, and they could get to the finals.
Absolutely. So did you watch last night's game? Just to date the episode when we're recording, did you watch last night's against the Thunder?
I can't stand the Thunder. I can't stand them.
I don't mind. I don't mind the Thunder in theory because I really liked the Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant may be one of my favorite players that I forget about. If that makes any sense at all. I'm a big KD fan, but I don't like James Harden. But him, KD, and Westbrook. It was Westbrook, right?
Yeah.
Man, that trio. That was, I loved that. I took a screenshot of the first game that Tatum was back. Pretty terrible basketball for the first 5 minutes. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, he missed his first 6 shots, but then he popped off after that.
Yeah. They were trying to. The commentators were Tatum put up it was just like a floater. And if he had made that basket, they were like, this place is going to explode. But the first basket, I don't remember who it was, but it was like a role player guy. But I took a screenshot, and right before I could get to taking the screenshot, 5 minutes into the game, the score was 3-2. The Celtics were 1 for 10, and the Mavs were 1 for 6. Or no, they were 2 for 6. I can't do the math real quick. They hadn't shot free throws yet. That's what it was. Cooper Flagg got hurt, and he bounced back quickly. But it was awful basketball for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's how the NBA that while I was watching, I also date this, the first half of our girls' game, and it was very slow.
The Freed Hardeman Lady Lions, for those unaware.
It's very sluggish. That's how it is though. Sometimes when you're it's a big moment, you're just gotta get in rhythm. I mean, when I play basketball, I'm. It takes me a little bit to heat up. I
don't know about you. I'm ready to go no matter what.
Oh,
straight from the whistle. The problem is we don't have a whistle whenever we play ball in the morning, so that's why I'm not locked in. Cameron, there was history made this past week.
Yes. So I texted
What?
the group chat.
I didn't know about it if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, I do my, as much as I overtext, sometimes it's really worth it. And he had like 67 points, I think.
Who is he?
Bam Adebayo on the Miami Heat. And
We never said that.
And well, he had 63 into the fourth, starting the fourth, and I was like, okay, he's 18 points if he plays. But it quickly became apparent, like, oh, he's playing. Like, Spoelstra's going to play him the whole quarter, and so he got to 67, and I was like, he needs 14 to tie Kobe. I think he's going to do it. And then he broke the record with like a minute and a half left. They did cheese it at the end. They kept fouling, and they were really wanting to get it.
Right.
Okay, my hot take though, if you enter,
hit me with it.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. This is why we wanted to bring this up. Real quick, set the stage. Bam Adebayo, past Kobe, is now the second highest scorer in a single game of all time. Go with your hot take, Cameron.
The hot take sizzling. I think if you get into the fourth quarter having already scored 60 points, you can do whatever you want. You can foul as much as you want. You can do whatever, because we need more people chasing history than just sitting down.
Yes, that goes into tweets of the week for a little bit for me. The tweet I was going to pull up is there were a lot of tweets, a lot of off-color tweets about like ethics and things like that, comparing Bam and Kobe. But one was, this is a stain on basketball history.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not.
Okay, I know I'm right because you're agreeing with me on this, and normally, like, as the resident hater that I know, Cameron, you play the role of the fun police, unintentionally. Let people have fun. Like, first off, no, this doesn't negate that Kobe was one of the greatest players ever, and it doesn't put, nobody, if you had to put Bam and Kobe in a gym together, you're going to pick Kobe 11 times out of 10,
Yeah.
Like, Bam is a good I hate that he went to Kentucky. I hate that the Heat kept beating the Celtics for a while as I was getting into basketball, into the NBA. But I kind of like Bam. I'm not going to lie.
He went to Kentucky? I didn't know. I'm learning this. You're telling me this now for the first time.
There's actually a lot of gaslighting that's happened on Twitter this past week because he was at Kentucky when Coach Calipari was there. And so there's been a bunch of edits of him in an Arkansas jersey. And it's like, man, Arkansas legend Bam Adebayo. It was a fun day.
What do you think his first name is?
Bamulus.
His name is, I don't know if it's a long or short E, but it's Idris Femi Adebayo.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Where did the Bam come from?
I don't know. I'm trying to find that.
Probably, let's be real. Probably basketball, like, if I had to bet.
Probably. Wait.
Well.
This is crazy. It's from the Flintstones. It's from the Flintstones.
As a child, he was
given the nickname Bam Bam by his mother. Well, similar to the characters Bam Bam Rubble, he moved with his mother North Carolina. Okay, I kept reading it. Didn't apply at all. But the only part to note from that is the Bam Bam Rubble. Right. He flipped over a coffee table. There it is.
Oh, okay. When I taught at the junior high, there was a student that we nicknamed Bam Bam. We didn't nickname him. The other students had nicknamed him that. And the teachers, every once in a while there's a nickname that'll just permeate their real name.
Yes.
It's different, like a middle name, whatever, but it really, like, it stuck with us. Another big thing, this happened literally last night. Have you seen the information about the Titans rebrand?
Yeah, I was watching First Things First, and they did a little segment on it.
I didn't see it until my child woke me up at 3 because I forgot they were doing it last night. So at 3 o'clock, I'm waking up and I'm like, man, these mock-ups look okay. And I was like, oh, this is real? And so what do you think? I want to hear your opinion before I give my full opinion as a Titans fan.
I always find a little bit of irony in a bad team hyping up things that don't impact winning. But at the same time, I think there's some positive momentum in Nashville.
Oh, absolutely. They're the first day. What was it? The first day of free agency the other day?
Yeah.
Or has free agency been open and it was just whenever a bunch of moves happened?
It opened last week, I think.
Okay. The Titans made a lot of moves. I don't think the Titans will be... could we be the 1 seed in the AFC South? Maybe.
It's a bad
that's
division.
not saying the Titans are going to... Yeah, that's not saying the Titans are going to be good. The AFC South is the AFC South. But it's upward trajectory, sophomore year rookie quarterback. I feel good. I love the new jerseys. I don't love the new logo. I think it's just a little bland, but... okay, Cameron, give me a second. My AirPods died?
Yeah, you just went silent.
Oh, no, there we go. Okay. I don't remember what I was saying, but I can just splice it together. I don't love the new logo, but I love the jerseys.
Yeah.
The one thing, I don't know if you saw it, on the helmet, there's 6 stripes signifying a guitar string and, just playing into the Music City motif. And I think that's really cool.
To be honest, I haven't looked that closely. I just saw the hype video and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't really like the secondary logo. It looks like a soccer team. I've seen somebody else say that online. But, to each their own. I think it's fine.
They do have a Nashville team, though. You know what they don't have, though?
Oil?
I was going to say a basketball team, but...
Man, I wish if Nashville had a basket, just get rid of Memphis. Memphis is on Arkansas anyways. Cameron, it's time for an actual brand new segment.
Oh, I'm excited. This
one is called Suggestion Box.
Ooh.
I don't know if you paid attention to YouTube, but we got a comment on YouTube.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen that.
So this is from, and it's from one of my friends from back home. So, it still counts. But Prism Fox 9 commenting on the show on YouTube. Ratatouille is definitely top tier. And even though I never really saw Toy Story 2 until I had kids, I always liked the story of how Galen Suzman saved the movie. So 2 things there. This is from our very first episode back. Ratatouille, top tier, of course.
Yes.
Are you familiar with who Galen Suzman is and her role in Toy Story 2?
You're telling me this for the first time.
Really? Okay, this is really cool. Have you heard the story about how Toy Story 2 was almost deleted?
I think I have heard. I've heard rumors.
Wow. Okay, so there is a good YouTube video on this. Basically, somebody put in code on the servers at Pixar, and they don't know if it was intentional or not. I don't know. I feel like if it happened nowadays, you'd be able to find out if it was intentional, like espionage or sabotage. Excuse me, goodness. But there was code put in that started deleting the movie. And they were like, well, this isn't a big deal. Let's go check the backups. Well, they checked the backups, and the backups hadn't been working for a few months. So Toy Story 2 was dead, except Galen Suzman. She had just given birth to one of her children, and she was at home, and she had her entire desktop set up at home, and she had a backup of the movie on
Work
that.
from home
and
before work from home.
Exactly. Literally, the article I was reading about, just to refresh myself on the story, talked about, COVID and things like that. They had to use 8 people to go and get the computer, because it wasn't, just a laptop or even just a single desktop. They had to use 8 people to get it, put it in a Volkswagen. It was crazy. Now, here's something else I found out that I didn't even know about. This is not the version of Toy Story 2 that made it to theaters.
Oh.
Apparently, and that today was the very first time that I've ever heard this. So we got to question the, not legality, the credibility of the source. But the comment said that John Lasseter wasn't pleased with the direction of the movie and just felt like it needed to be stronger. And so it was shelved. But they were still able to use a bunch of assets for it.
Interesting. What was the original idea?
Oh, I don't know. And that's why I think it was a little suspect, because they didn't have something about that. There is something to do with Toy Story 3 and its original concept, but we'll save that for another one. I need to write that down so we can talk about it, because I don't believe you know about that one either, do you?
Probably not.
It involved Buzz being recalled, so just to set the stage for that. Cameron, do you hear something?
I hear the wind outside my window. What else do you hear?
I think there might be a few birds out there. Birds tweeting.
Oh yeah, Twitter. Well, they've all gotten blown away at my house, but I heard their calls
They
for
replaced
help.
with X's.
Yeah, their eyes.
Let's do tweets of the week. Cameron, what do you got? I already talked about my Bam and Kobe tweets.
Okay, so the more I've thought about this, the less confident in it I have become throughout the day. But it stood out to me, and so I was like, okay, we're just going to roll with it. And the problem is, the tweet includes a video. Okay, the Hornets mascot, that was a video, but I could screenshot it, and like you got the gist from the mascot being there.
Oh, are you talking from the episode 2 episodes ago?
Yeah. Now, the one from today... Okay, there's all these slop accounts, that are just like they come up with random stuff and they recycle the same.
If it has a
10
blue,
tweets.
if it has a blue check mark, it's just looking for views and clicks.
So this is one. It was a new one though, March 9th. This boat is called a log bronc and is used to move logs around in sawmill ponds. And so the tweet had like 1,000 views or likes or whatever, and it's this boat that's like violently pitching around in the water, like not staying. It's like a single seater, and like this guy's just like, it looks like he's in a barrel basically, and he's bobbing around, hitting the logs and pushing them into place. The quote retweet says, "Guy who stinks at building boats. No, it's supposed to be like that. I made it like that on purpose." Because when you see this go, it's like, I laughed at it for probably 5 straight minutes.
Have you sent this to me yet?
I have not. Let me.
I am having a very difficult time
I know that's the problem
with my mental image of this.
It is really. It's hard to fathom, but it's now sent to you. How the boat moves, though, is funny enough to like. That's what prompted me saving it.
Oh, the Twitter account name is great. The mayor from Jaws. A log bronc. Oh yeah. Okay. So like, here's how I would explain this as like, imagine a boat that is on top of a tire. I think that's how I'd describe it.
It's like
but I get the barrel part.
It's not level at all. It's just like pitching back and forth. But like the caption, like it's supposed to do that. Like,
yeah. Okay. It may be supposed to do that. That doesn't mean it's good.
I don't know. Like, I don't know that it is though. I don't know how this works. I didn't do research into the log, sawmill like industry thing. Have you seen? Though,
you're not big on big log bronc right now.
No. But the Christopher Nolan movie, Insomnia, with De Niro and Robin Williams as the bad guy, it includes a scene with like the sawmill when the logs are all in the water and they're running on top of them. So there's your fun fact
neat.
for the day.
Well, there you go. Always a fun fact with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Cam, I'm going to ask you a question, but I think I already know the answer, and it's okay to disappoint me. But do you have any news for us?
Okay. Well, Greg, let me tell you. There's been enough news. And SNL falls into this too. It's like, how do we come up with something that's like crazier than like what's actually happening? And so like back in the radio station, I would pull up like funny news stories and find like Sky News had something or what's not. The rebrand, whatever you want to call it, I said, no, we're not going to do that. We are going to come up with things organically. And that's like the Kentucky Meat Shower. This is where, okay, a lot of artists do this. Fun fact, we're going on a tangent. What I like follow musician newsletters and stuff that you can sign up for. And one of them just posted one today. It was Maggie Rogers, actually. And it was like, sorry I'm not releasing new music right now. I just feel like inspiration hasn't hit. I have a bunch of songs in the Dropbox, but nothing ready. And I'm like, and she's like, quality over quantity. I'm like, okay. I don't agree. But this is my way of telling you that I'm going with quality over quantity, and there's no news today.
So no, that's the answer. Okay,
correct.
But, you know, speaking of Maggie Rogers, let's take a listen to the Coach Max Jukebox.
Ooh, a good segue.
So, I did listen to Maggie Rogers.
Ooh, what songs did you listen to? I didn't send you any.
I knew you did not. So I listened to the first 5 songs from her, whatever her debut album was that you told me.
Okay.
I'm pulling it up. What's the name of the album?
Heard It in a Past Life.
Yeah, that one. So I listened to Give a Little, Overnight, The Knife, Alaska, and Light On. I think I listened to Past Life. I saved Overnight to my like songs that I like playlist.
I'll be real, that's like maybe my least favorite song from the album.
That's okay. I liked Give a Little. You compared her to Adele. Immediately, I was just like, okay, this is Adele, but for people that aren't depressed.
It's Adele for like Gen Z arts people.
I really enjoyed it. Like, I liked
the second half of the album's better.
Really? See, I didn't listen to the second half. I'm all about a second half like album. Like, I'm all about a second half album.
Back in My Body.
I really
is my
enjoyed
favorite.
it. Okay, I'll give that one a listen. Tell me about your song on the Coach Max Jukebox today.
I forgot I had one until you reminded me to look at the show notes. Okay.
Well, I had to. I listened to it earlier, and you know, you go ahead.
Okay, so randomly I got into Peter, Paul, and Mary. Randomly I got into Peter, Paul, and Mary, and that they're not for everyone. Like, they're folk. They are like quintessential folk, and from the 60s and 70s, and
they're like what folk is supposed to be.
Like they're the OG,
then, like,
yeah.
Like Avett Brothers and them. Like this isn't like a knock on them, but they're not folk, you know.
Yeah. So Peter, Paul, and Mary. I forgot their full names, but it's like, their names are Peter, Paul, and Mary. They just happen to all be biblical, and on their debut album, there's this song, and I listened to the album, and I was like, okay, I have different songs I'm picking out, like 500 Miles I picked out, Lemon Tree I picked out as like, okay, these are my favorites. I listened to the album again. I listened to the song I'm about to tell you like 40 times in a row. It was on the loop as I was driving around town, and I just left it going. I do that a lot with songs, though, to be fair. Like, loop them. Especially when, like,
absolutely.
Studying.
Like, that is so fun, is playing a song multiple times.
So, and I'm reading through Judges, so it's full circle. But the song is If I Had My Way, which is the most famous rendition of it is the Grateful Dead covered it.
Oh, I could definitely hear Grateful Dead influence on it, even though they did it first. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's not even a Peter, Paul, and Mary song. It's like a guy before them.
Oh, really?
But it like recounts like Samson. First verse is like Jawbone. Second verse,
right.
You know, goes on. Third verse is Delilah, and then like, but it just kind of builds, and like their harmonies at the end are so good, and the live versions are good. It's just hitting the spot. Hit the spot.
I'd never heard the song until today. And I mean, you know, there's songs that you're like, oh, I might have heard this before. I don't think I'd ever heard this one. But I was like, okay, this is fine during the first part of it. But then the second half, like you said, man, I was digging it. It actually reminded me a little bit of the Queen song that I mentioned last week, and I thought that was why you were going to mention it here.
No, I made no connection to that whatsoever.
Interesting. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So If I Had My Way, oh, excuse me, I burped. I'm going to cut that. If I Had My Way by Peter, Paul, and Mary. Just read off on the show notes what I've typed out.
Okay, Greg for his song put Don't Stop Believing, comma, but not that one. What do you mean by that, Greg?
So, it is Don't Stop Believing, but it is not by Journey. Whenever we were on the radio station, I played a song from an acoustic cover album that I love, okay? It's by Dan Avidan and the Super Guitar Brothers, and they covered Don't Stop Believing on it. And it is just a calm, acoustic version of Don't Stop Believing, but like, I don't mean calm as in it like puts you to sleep because you're bored. it is like, it's very vibey and it's so good. Now, I don't recommend listening. Ooh, hold on. I don't recommend listening to his other stuff because he is in a band, the lead singer, Dan Avidan, he is in a band that is very much not clean comedy. So if you listen to the album, you may get suggested his other band, which, you know, fine. But don't blame me for that. They have 3 acoustic albums and they are amazing. I highly recommend these albums. Really, really good stuff. I almost wanted to put another Phil Collins song in here in some form or fashion, but I just couldn't. In fact, earlier when you said, talking about how If I Had My Way by Peter, Paul, and Mary mentions Samson and Delilah. Mm-hmm. I knew there was a song I had been listening to on repeat recently that mentioned Samson or Delilah looking for Samson, but it's a song by the Dixie Chicks.
What? You mean the Chicks?
Oh yeah, you're right. That song is called Sin Wagon. I mean, you want to talk about like the guiltiest pleasure song.
No.
Like I really like that song. Anyways, we don't have any news, and let's just make a continuation of Coach Mac's Jukebox and run this into the end of the show for a segment that we like to call Rank 'em.
We're ranking them.
How did you feel about this before we announce what this segment is here, what we're ranking? How did you feel about it?
It took me like 2 seconds of brain thought. Like it was very easy to do.
I know. That was kind of why I picked it, but I wrote down a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 honorable mentions.
I gave you that 3 honorable mentions.
Okay. I'm going to go through them quickly then. So what we're doing today is ranking greatest hits albums. Now, obviously, the odds of Cameron and I having the same thing is very low. I think there's one that we might. I think it's in my honorable mentions, though. Yeah. So, we talked about making an album and how you don't want to just listen to a bunch of singles. Counterpoint. There are bands, like Cameron mentioned a few weeks ago with ELO. You absolutely want to listen to the best of the songs by that band as a good launching point into the rest of the band.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you just a few of my honorable mentions here. And this is not an endorsement on any of them. Some of them just have amazing names, such as Devo. They had a greatest hits album, but you know what else they had? You know what their other greatest hits album was called?
I know it, but I'm blanking.
It's called Greatest Misses. And that's so clever, you know? There in my top 3, there is a 2-disc album that is a greatest hits, and I think it encapsulates that greatest misses perfectly. Because yes, the best songs are the best for a reason, but sometimes those B-sides are so good.
Devo's like my dad's favorite band.
Yeah. Elton John's Greatest Hits Volume 1 and 2, phenomenal. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Here's something that I don't know if you're a big fan of, but I love when bands include a brand new song on a Greatest Hits album.
Yeah, interesting.
On Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' Greatest Hits was Mary Jane's Last Dance, and like that is probably in the top 5 Tom Petty songs. Like not even just me, but in general, it is such a good song. Go ahead and give me one of your top 3.
Top 3, okay. Number 3, I put The Essential Billy Joel because, frankly, it's 2 discs and it's like there's so many songs. It's incredible. Like it's like 40 good songs, and like I grew up listening to like all the greatest hits albums. Like so that's how my music stuff started.
Here's the fun part. That is also in my top 3.
Ooh.
So I had a bigger box of it where instead of just Volume 1 and Volume 2, I had the Volume 3 included with it. And Volume 4 had or it wasn't really Volume 4. It had like a behind the scenes, like kind of like a town hall or like a Howard Stern show kind of segment where he would play the songs and then talk about them with the audience. Absolutely iconic in my life. Speaking of in my life, this is on my my honorable mentions. One by the Beatles is phenomenal because it was all the Beatles' number one hits in England.
27.
But there are so many songs that aren't on that album.
That's true.
I didn't have time to go through and look at what wasn't on there, but there's so many songs that aren't there.
So I'll give you a little hint. Past Masters, you've got all the singles, so then it's like mostly the number one hits, and then also the B-sides that didn't make it.
I whenever we had our Beatles show, that was the first time that I cognitively remember listening to Rain, and I was like, why was this not released anywhere else?
I love Rain.
Like, there's times where I'm just like, okay, it's a cult classic. Is it actually that good?
Yeah.
But listening to that one, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so good. Let me tell you another one that I'm partial to. I am a big fan of Eminem's greatest hits. The album title is called Curtain Call, and I think that's an amazing name.
Interesting.
And I think it gives you enough of Eminem's stuff to be like, okay, I get the idea. My favorite Eminem song is not on that album, but that's a song for another day. Let me tell you also about The Who's greatest hits, but specifically the one titled My Generation. I have like the most vivid memories of listening to that album, that greatest hits CD, in the parking lot of the Chinese restaurant in Crossville with my dad while it was raining outside. We were waiting for the rain to stop falling. Baba O'Reilly had ended, and then it went into Join Together, and it was, it was so good. Give me another one.
So my honorable mentions are the singles, Phil Collins. Again, it's like also a lot of stuff on there. The Best of Chicago by Chicago.
Yes, absolutely.
And here's a kind of an oddball. Every Breath You Take, the classics from the Police.
Oh, no, don't call that an oddball. That's the one with like the red, yellow, and blue.
It's all the people there, like on they're doing different things,
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that one.
That was in the childhood rotation too.
Oh man, because they were using the synchronicity color scheme. Give me a second. Let me. Oh no! I'm thinking of a different one. What's the one I'm thinking of? What greatest hits is that? Oh no! I am thinking of this one. They had one called The Singles. That was the same name, Every Breath You Take. But this one, where there's like the silhouettes of them.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of the one with like the little men, and there's like 50 of them on the album.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of them because it's the little silhouettes.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't even think about that one.
Okay, we had a different album cover than like what's popping up on Apple Music, first of all. Like,
gotcha. Well, I'm on Wikipedia, and it says that it's an alternate cover.
Every Breath You Take, the classics,
see,
I found it.
Yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about.
My number 2 is ELO, All Over the World. It's good stuff. It's so good. Like I think if you like had me sit down and try and write down the track list, I could probably get all the songs.
Yeah. And we talked about that on the show a few weeks ago. It's just good. So my number 1 is Styx, obviously, but I do want to talk about that one in depth, as much depth as we're allowed to, anyways. But before Styx, the first band that I ever got into was Aerosmith, and they will always have a special place in my heart. I've had 2 different greatest hits of theirs, but I've had a few, but they had a 2-disc one called Oh Yeah, Aerosmith's Ultimate Greatest Hits. It is so good. If anybody is ever like, I'm thinking about Aerosmith, should I listen to them? That's the greatest hits to tell. Like, if somebody is like, I like rock and roll, that, other than Joan Jett, like, I'm going to tell them, go to that album. That is an amazing greatest hits.
That's fair. That's a good one. My number 1. Guess what my number 1 is?
I tried to think about that. I thought ELO was going to be your number 1.
No.
Is it Past Masters? Do you consider that a compilation?
No, I picked one. Like,
okay.
One, I remember, I was like, on our like elliptical downstairs, like listening to it on my free Spotify account, and it's like what got me into like really like music, and then I bought Apple Music after that.
Is it Beatles?
Yeah, it's the one by Beatles.
Oh, okay.
It's So
I think I know what it is. Go ahead.
No. It is one.
Oh! I thought you. Okay, I thought you meant like the red album or the blue album of them, like over the railing.
So those are like what are those called? It's like not 63 to 65. 60.
Yeah, I think it's 63, 65, and then 66 to I think it's 71 actually.
What are those called? I can't. It bothers me now. I didn't even think of that. You bothered me now.
The show is just falling apart right now.
Anthology. Those are the anthologies.
Yeah,
1, 2,
there we
and
go.
3.
They're so good.
Yeah, one is it though. Like it's just so good, and like I was like, oh, I've never heard all these songs, and I just listened to that over and over and over and over.
How do you feel about the Ballad of John and Yoko?
Hate it.
Really, I love it actually.
That's in my bottom 5.
I'm a big fan. Really, I'm a big fan. I think we talked about this on the show. Actually, we might have. I'm a big fan of when they let Paul just scream. Before on my way home today, actually, I was listening to a Steve Miller Band song called "My Dark Hour," and Paul McCartney actually plays drums and does backing vocals on that song. And like you can, if you listen to it, you can hear it. Like you can hear him on it. That's not the Coach Max Jukebox song, but it's so good. My number one, like I said, it's Styx. Obviously, they have 2 albums that I will always recommend, and so that's why I'm gonna keep it short. The blue one, is it the blue one?
Yeah.
Yep. So that was Greatest Hits 95. There's a really fun story about this. So the song Lady by Styx, okay, was recorded on Styx 2 in 1972, their second album, and it was under the Wooden Nickel record label. Wooden Nickel went defunct much later, but Styx was had been broken up at this time. The record A&M was trying to get A&M, is that right? Or am I just thinking of Texas?
I don't know.
Oh no. The record company. It's A&M, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't think.
It is A&M. It is A&M. Anyways, A&M wanted them to put Lady on the record, but Wooden Nickel was still around, so they couldn't. But there was a loophole that if they re-recorded the song, they could put it on the Greatest Hits album. So they got back together to re-record Lady, and so there's a song on the album called Lady 95, and it's just a re-recording of it. Band went on their reunion tour the next year, had a really underrated album in 1999, and then one member was kicked out of the band, and I'll give you the rest of that history lesson some other time. But my all-time favorite Greatest Hits is a 2-disc one. It's called Come Sail Away, the Anthology, or just Gold. It has the perfect blend of the hits and the B-sides. I will always, always, always give that record to people if they're like, okay, you like Styx, where should I start? You would think I'd start with just the one Greatest Hits, but you need to see where they started. You need to see those early albums that really aren't that good so that then you can appreciate when they get good.
There's just music, listen to it. It's not that good.
That's how I lead with it, you know? Cam, do you have any other honorable mentions you'd like to lead? Oh, wow. I'll fix that.
I have no. I threw out. I just had the 3.
Okay, I do have one last honorable mention, and it is Phil Collins related, but it's Genesis' Turn It On Again, the hits.
Oh, yeah.
They re-recorded The Carpet Crawlers, which is a Peter Gabriel I'm going to go off on one day, but the original song of The Carpet Crawlers, do you know that song?
No.
It's not very good at all, but they re-recorded it. Carpet Crawlers 99, only on the Greatest Hits. So good. I love that song. They let Phil do more of the singing on that one. They did bring Peter Gabriel back. It's the last song that Peter Gabriel, Steve Hackett, Tony, Phil, and Tony Banks, Phil Collins, Michael. It's Mike and the Mechanics. The other guy. I'm going to think of it immediately after the show. Anyways, it's okay. I think that's going to do it for this show. Do you have anything else you want to add in before we say goodbye to the listeners?
No, I think we've given them enough good content for the day.
Well, I was going to say, do you remember when I said we tried at the beginning of the episode?
No.
Yeah, well, I did. So jury's out on that. But thank you for listening to this episode of Cam and Max in the Morning. Be sure to listen each week on Spotify and now on YouTube. Let us know what you thought of the show. You can reach out to us on Instagram at Cam and Max Show. That's all one word, Cam and Max Show. If you have something you want to hear on the show, you can let us know. I rhymed it again. I need to change that. He's Cam.
He's Coach Max.
And we will see you later. All right. I liked our last podcast. I told you I didn't know if I liked how we segued everything. I actually really enjoyed listening to it. The Spotify algorithm does not agree because of the number of views, but anyways. All right.